preppers and homesteaders or prepper-steaders. In this episode, unfortunately, we're going to be going over preparing your storm shelter, your tornado shelter, your bunker for storm season. Storm season is here. We're getting already weird, interesting weather, and I'm going to go over what to have in your tornado shelter, storm shelter, and let's start right now. Okay, first thing we're going to do is go over all the essentials to have in your storm shelter. Like I said, pardon the echo in here. Let's go in. Okay, I do have some changes in here, but one of the first things I want to go over, and I'm going to show you right now. One of the things you need to do in your shelter is have a sticky bug trap such as this. Put multiples in your shelter and also do a weekly cleaning. The last thing you want to do is come into your shelter and have bugs, snakes, spiders in your shelter, and you have to go deal with that when you're dealing with the storm. So that is one thing that you do not want to deal with. So totally recommend weekly cleaning, tidying up, put sticky bug traps. I mean, mine hasn't been there that long and there's some little critters in there. Because one of the things you want to make sure is your shelter is comfortable. I'm going to show you one other thing right now that I have in here that makes it really comfortable. Okay, one of the things, our shelter is half in the ground, half out of the ground, but we are in a humid area. And many of you have in-ground tornado shelters, and hopefully you have electricity to them. One of the greatest things we have purchased is this little Pro Breeze little dehumidifier. Yeah, I still have the box here, just so I can show you. You can see with the box, little mini dehumidifier. So this I just plug in when needed. Today it's actually pretty dry out. I've got the vents open and the door open, so I have this turned off. But as you can see, there's a little water in there. It does a great job. This thing hardly draws any energy, very low wattage, unlike the big, household items. We are on solar with battery backup, so I wanted something low wattage. This just has one setting, you turn it on and it runs. It's not the same as those golden rods and things like that. They just kind of heat up. I tried one of those in here and it did nothing. This actually pulls some moisture. This is designed for like motorhomes, campers, and things like that. And it is phenomenal. The other thing I want to talk about in the shelter, so if you're in your shelter, you're in the ground, you need to be able to communicate and you need to be able to see what's going on. So as you can see right here, I have a Wi-Fi router in here and I have Wi-Fi in here. And what I used was a wireless bridge, and I will put it in the link description and I'll show you the installation of it here. But pretty much the wireless bridge, you just install it on you take your router from your house, you run a Ethernet cable, and it's PoE, so power over Ethernet. You run the Ethernet cable outside, mount the little transmitter from the outside of your house or barn or whatever else you have, and then you do the same thing. So right here, this is not finished at all, and actually I'll at the very end of this I'm going to put the installation. So if anybody wants to watch the installation of the wireless system in here. But pretty much I have an Ethernet cable right here running in. Here is the power over Ethernet, so this is plugged in and it runs over there and then powering the Wi-Fi. And we do Wi-Fi calling on our cell phones. So I can make a phone call from in here. I can check, max velocity, the weather channel, anything, keep an eye on the storm. And it really is nice because if we're sitting in here, we can watch YouTube, we can watch, things, and it makes the time go much better. So this right corner of our shelter, I just have it empty. This whole right side of the shelter is empty. You can see up there, I've got wires pre-wired. I'm going to put some lights in here. Right now we just have battery operated lights, but that way it gives me this whole area and I can look over at the rest of the space and the door and the exit. So makes it a lot nicer having this huge space over here where I can go all the way to the door, to the wall back there, and then back over here. So what that means is this space over here, I can put a cot, 2 cots, 3 cots, you know, whatever. It's about, I want to say from that wall to here about 8 foot of free space. And then let's get on this. Okay, one of the things I also did, I have communications in here. Entertainment, I guess you could say. You know, the Wi-Fi. We also have this shelf that I put in here. And the way I did this shelf, it's a pretty big shelf. I have a waterproof hard dig surplus military container in here. Underneath we have water storage. I sized these shelves enough so that if we needed to, I could sit here and have just enough room if I'm hunched over. And then I keep some of these military U.S. Marine Corps Z-Rest pads. They're foam pads that fold up like an accordion, and I can lay them down on here. They're exactly the perfect width, as you can see. And we could make double bunks in case if we really needed to. If we had more family in here, and we have additional cots that we can pull out too. So we can actually fit a lot of people in here and sleep pretty comfortable in here if we had to for extended periods of time. So there's the water underneath. We've got 2 6-gallon containers on the left and 2 5-gallon containers on the right. And those are just the regular military GI containers. Okay, so now in here we have water, shelter, sleep, internet, communications. I still keep this in there. It's one of those little Govee wireless. It tells me, I can check on my phone the humidity level, the temperature in here, just kind of give me an idea. It's kind of nice, more or less, for the housekeeping and keeping this in good shape. So, got a lot of extra space in here. And there's also a top shelf here where I can put some thin items up here. And some of you might think like, oh, that's a waste of space to have the shelf so close. But I've got hooks and I can hang things here also. You know, you never know what we're gonna need. So there's that in there. And then got a big first aid kit. Keep that in here. I'm not gonna show you, but we have folding chairs that go in here. And then I'm gonna show you what's inside here. So these hard dig cases. These are kind of like Pelican cases. The hard dig ones you can get cheaper. These are waterproof and you can keep stuff in here, throw some silica gel in there and then never worry about it. Bugs can't get in there, water can't get in there, and you have a bunch of stuff in here. So, and these have a lot of latches. I've got them pre-opened. Okay, I'm gonna just kind of show you what's in here, kind of pull out different things. Right now I don't have it in there, but we have the water down there. That's like long-term emergency water. We also have, and it's gonna go on one of these top shelves. I didn't put it in here yet, but kind of picking it out right now because storm weather is, we're getting this ready for this week, like actually tonight. So we're kind of in the middle of packing it. That's why I'm kind of doing this video now. We're putting a small cooler or Pelican case, another small one. I'm not sure which is gonna be the best. Probably for this week, just a cooler, but we're gonna have bottled water, snacks, like non-perishable snacks, you know, power bars, candy bars, chips, things like that. I also have some lifeboat food that can handle and stay in, you know, pretty much the temperature in here has been staying about 60 degrees. So, and the humidity about 50% with my dehumidifier. So I'm not too worried about that either, but we're gonna have that either on one of these top shelves. So then you're thinking, okay, they've got water, they've got food. What happens if they have to use the bathroom? I did another video on this, but I will show it to you right now. So I have a little folding toilet in a bag. I'll put a link to the video with this. I did a full review of this. It literally folds up, it's got a toilet seat, and then you use these double duty bags. They go inside of the little toilet. There's individual bags. I believe there's like 20 of them in here or something like that. They've got some bio gel. It turns the waste into a solid gel. You got a little Ziploc, you tie it up, twist it off, put it in a garbage bag. And that's the other thing, you have to have a garbage bag in here because you're gonna have these bio bags, you know, you're gonna have just stuff. And then you're thinking, okay, so we've got family in here. Say we have, you know, nieces, nephews, my wife, me, you know, like men, women, what do? In the same video where I reviewed this, I have a pop-up tent that's just a privacy tent. It's one of those changing tents. We can pop that up in that corner there, that corner over there, kind of where we have all that free space, because that's why you want to have some free space. So we have the pop-up toilet, the privacy tent with the toilet, and then that in there. And that goes in there. Then we're gonna put a go bag, more or less. It's gonna have copies of important documents. It's gonna have a change of clothes, you know, some deodorant, toothpaste, things like that. And that's gonna go in here also with extra clothes and then some blankets and then a weather radio, extra flashlights. The other thing you're gonna need is extraction and rescue gear. So what happens if a tree falls and blocks our door? Our door does open from the inside like that. So we can still open the door, but what ends if there's, you know, a tree right there? So I want to keep an electric chainsaw, some extra batteries, and go for the best. This power that's in here is from our main house, which has solar battery backup. And so even if, you know, the town loses power, we should have power in here. I am planning, I have that EcoFlow Delta too, that I did a video of. I'm planning on putting that in here and locking it down in here and having it power this in case the house and solar gets destroyed. We still have power in here. We have the extra set of solar panels we can pull out for that Delta 2 and keep it all in here. So remember that I did a video, I had a US military weapons locker. It's actually right here and it's bolted to the floor. And it's not like a gun safe, it's a weapons locker. It's like a security cage, but it's the perfect size that the EcoFlow Delta 2 will fit into there. And it'll almost be like an uninterrupted power supply. I have the wire kind of running ready for this, going around. The EcoFlow Delta 2 will be in there. And then this military case, I'll show it to you. I'll show some clips of it. It's small, it's like 16 inches deep. It's maybe up to my waist. I'm actually using it as a stand for the camera right now. It's up to my waist, so it's only about this tall, and it's like 30 inches wide. But it's got these little slide out metal doors. You can bolt it to the floor really easy, so it's pretty secure. So like if a meth head, crack head comes in here, they're not gonna walk away with it. It's got a lock on it. It's made to US government specs. It also can hold ammo cans. And why am I saying that? What's nice about ammo cans, they're not just for ammo. They are waterproof, they are lightweight, and you can put a lot of stuff in there, and they're critter proof. So if like a bugs and, you know, you just don't want to deal with stuff, so you can use those also to store more supplies if you don't want to get these like big cases or things like that. So ammo cans are a great way to store items in an environment that normally might get damp and humid and things like that. So keep that in mind. So I'm going to have extra stuff in there. So we've got extraction. I know I'm forgetting stuff and I'm new to this. So because the previous area we lived in, we had a somewhat of a basement with a corner we would used to go into during tornadoes. Currently now our barn dominium has a slab. It's not a safe place to be. So we will be spending time in here. So hopefully I went over a good amount, but I know I forgot a lot of stuff. So please, in the comments, give me some advice, what I should change. And I think I've got a pretty good amount covered, but oh, and you might want to keep a firearm on you just in case, depending on your area, if there's looting, things like that after a storm. I always have a pistol on me, so it's always on me. So I'm not too worried about that. And like I said, you got extraction gear. You do want to have some extraction equipment. You know, expect no rescue. You got to have self-rescue. So, and some radios. I have the Biofang radios. I'm keeping them in here just for the fact that if something happens, our property is wiped out, you know, we have, and one of us has to leave, we have some communications. So hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully none of you have to endure a tornado, but if you do, hopefully we are prepared, you are prepared, this helps, your comments help me, and stay safe everybody, because the weather is weird. Thanks again, and until next time. Big camera. I'm still waiting for the temperature of my water to be perfect. It's still warming up. I'm gonna end it there. Thanks. Subscribe. I gotta support this shirt because it was a gift. I love it. I thank you. So thanks again. Bye.